Hello and welcome to Snowy Owl. This is an on your own problem, so you should have solved the entire problem, have it all written out on your paper, and now you're watching this video to make sure you have it correct. If you have any mistakes, no worries, all you're going to do is fix them, and that's the fastest way to learn. So here we go. The scenario is a beautiful snowy owl has moved into a tree behind your house. She has 3 baby owls that recently have hatched and are growing fast. Now, the mother owl has killed 3 1/2 mice. Okay? Her baby owls eat 2 5/8 of those mice. Your challenge is to figure out how many more mice do the little baby owls have to eat. Alrighty, so the very first thing that you should have done was to create a few little boxes here that represent the mice. So here I've got one mouse, a second mousey, a third mouse, right? And that represents these 3 mice. Now I need to represent a half a mouse. So I'm going to do that by making a blank box, and I'll do that right here. Now, if I have halves, that means I'm going to draw one line right in the middle to make 2 parts. So I'm going to draw that right down the center, and then I am going to color in half of that. My voice cracked. I was so nervous about it, huh? So I'm going to color in half of it. So now I have 1, 2, 3.5 mice. Now, I'm subtracting because they've already eaten, her little baby owls have already eaten 2 5/8, but I can't take an eighth away from here because I only have a half. So the very first thing I need to do is figure out my LCM, and I'm going to do that by just working right over here and writing L, which stands for least, C, common, and multiple. My least common multiple. So I'm going to use my 2 denominators, my 2 and my 8, and I'm going to just write the 2 on top and the 8 down here. And now I'm going to count first by 2's, and I'll count 2, 4, 6, and 8. And bingo, right there, I've got my least common multiple. So that means that I've got to turn these this half into an eighth, right? Into eighth parts. So I'm going to cut this into 1, 2, 3, 4 parts. And I'll do that by drawing 3 lines. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and that will give me 1, 2, 3, 4 parts. I should have ace here now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And sure enough, I do. So now I can subtract 2 5/8, right? So what I want to do here is first I'll get rid of the 2 whole ones, and I can do that simply by making an X in 2 of these holes, and then I can start to subtract these, but now I got to take 5 away, and I've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, so I can take 4 away, but that's not going to help me because I got to take the 5th one away. So I'm going to cut this box here into 8 parts, just like I have over here. So I'm going to just draw a line right through the center, like I did on the other one, and then 1, 2, 3 lines, just like I did over here. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I have 8 parts. Now I can take these 4 away, right? So I'll do that just by coloring, getting rid of these. I'm going to just get rid of those 4, and then I'm going to get rid of one more over here, right there. And that's going to leave me some left, right? And I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have 7 out of 8, right? So I have 7/8 of the little mice left for her babies to chow down on. So that is your illustration. If you made any mistakes with your LCM or your illustration, please take the time to pause this right now and fix your mistakes. And I'll wait for you, and then we're going to move on. Super. All right, time to move on. So the next thing I want to do is do the algorithm and make sure that it agrees with my illustration here. So for the algorithm, I will do this in a different color. I'm going to do the algorithm in green, and I'm going to just start off by rewriting the problem, 3 1/2, and I'm subtracting 2 5/8. So now the very first thing I got to do is find my LCM, which I've already done. So for the half, I got to multiply this by the giant 1 of 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to make the giant 1 of 4 over 4, 4 over 4. And that's going to give me a new fraction, right? And 3 times 1 will give me 3, right? So I'm just going to carry the 3 straight across. And then 1 times 4 is going to give me 4 over here. And 2 times 4 is going to give me 8 for my denominator. And if you think about what we did over here, now when I cut this into the 4 parts, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? I made 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 8, right? So this agrees with what I have right here. And that is always very good. All right, so now I want to change this mixed number into ace, but you can see there already are ace, right? So 1 times 5/8 is going to give me 5/8 again. So I'm going to multiply this by the giant 1 of, if you think here, 1 over 1, right? So I'll just do 1 over 1. I'm going to make this a little bigger because otherwise my handwriting is really sloppy. And I don't want to put you through that kind of misery. All right, so next I'm going to go 2 times the giant 1 is going to give me 2. And then 5 times 1 will give me 5. And right here, 8 times 1 will give me 8. And actually, as you see, all I did was bring the same fraction straight on over here. So now I'm going to subtract. I got my first and foremost biggest rule with adding or subtracting, in this case we're subtracting, fractions is that they have to have common denominators, and I do now. But now I got a big problem because I cannot take 4 or have 4 and take 5 away from it. So just like I did over here when I borrowed from this whole and cut it into 8 parts, I'm going to do that with this 3. I'm going to cross that out, and then I'm going to add in another 8/8, just like I did here. I'm going to add in 8/8. Now I can go, okay, oh well, first of all, I borrowed from there, so now that 3 turned into a 2. I only have 2. Now if you think about it over here, I only had these 2 left because this one was broken into ace, right? So now I can take 8 minus 5 is going to give me 3, plus 4 will give me 7, right? So let me go ahead and just draw my line straight across here. So that gives me 7, and then I just drop my denominator, 8. And then the 2 minus 2 is going to give me 0, so I don't have to put anything there. So now let me just talk about this for a minute. You can do like I just did. You can go, because these two are together, right? So I've got 4 and I've got 8, just like I had the 8 here and the 4 here. So I can go 8 minus 5 is 3, plus 4 gives me 7. The other thing you could do is you could add these two together, and you can go 4 plus 8 is going to give me 12, right? And those are ace. And then I can simply go 12 minus 5 is going to give me 7. And either way, you're going to end up with 7 ace. You can 8 minus 5 is 3, plus 4 is 7, or add these two together, and 12 minus 5 gives you 7, 7 ace. Now the really cool thing is that my answer right here for the algorithm agrees with the answer that I got for my illustration. Now, here's your huge challenge. and hopefully you don't have a challenge because you did it all correctly. However, if you made any mistakes in here, then go ahead and fix your mistakes right now. We have one last problem for this series of subtracting mixed numbered fractions like this. And the fastest way to learn is to correct your own mistakes. So, fantastic job today. I will see you next time on our next problem. Until then, I hope you have a super duper day. All right, take care. Bye.